More Bourne Braves baseball and more rain. What's more Cape Cod League than that? Welcome into Before the Bravos, our Braves pregame show. The Braves are in Falmouth to take on the Commodores for the second time this season. Calvin Christopher alongside Nick Galley bringing you our pregame. Last night, I know you loved it. It went about 2 hours, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
It was a marathon of a pregame show. In our rain delay edition, there is more rain coming down in Falmouth tonight. We believe this game's going to start on time, right at 6 o'clock, so it should be our regularly scheduled 20-minute pregame program. But Nick, have you dried off yet from last night?
No.
Or are you back in? Are you still wet from the rain coming down tonight?
I haven't gotten situated since 2 nights ago with a lightning delay. I'm still kind of in a lightning delay hangover, you might say. I have not recovered from that still, so I'm way behind the 8 ball right now, Calvin.
Well, you might not have gotten situated, but you know who has? It's Caden Wallace, the Bourne Braves outfielder, who we said it's not if, it's when he would come around and kind of get back to the form he was at Arkansas all season. We saw a flash of it against Kituitt on Sunday with a long home run, probably one at least a 400-footer in Kituitt, but then he was quiet. But last night he really broke out. Had all 3 RBIs in the 3-1 7-inning win against Brewster. Hit a bloop single to drive home the first run of the game, and then hit a no-doubt home run to left field to bring home the other 2. What'd you see from Wallace last night, and how confident are you that that was the game that flips the switch?
First of all, wasn't he your pick to pop?
I don't think he was.
Who was?
I took Kyler Fedko last night.
Oh, yes. Who did I take?
You took...
Oh, I took Schobel, didn't I?
Yes, you
yes.
took Schobel, yep.
We got to look at the stats, but...
we got to remember these. I'm putting this on you, that you have
Yeah,
to,
that's my bad. That's a mistake, I'll tell you that.
You should put them out on Twitter. Give me
That's
a
actually a
poll
good
or
idea.
something,
That's actually a good idea. That's
Yeah.
actually a good idea. Anyway, yeah. Caden Wallace looked really good last night. Really did look good. I spoke with him after the game briefly. Everyone kind of stormed off the field pretty quickly. He was the only one I spoke to, only one I had time to. Honestly, the only one I could find.
Well, that narrows it down.
Yes,
so.
but I obviously wanted to talk to him because I asked him again. I said, hey, I spoke with you in Kituitt a few days back. You said you were still getting settled in. How do you feel now? He says, yeah, I'm still trying to kind of learn the ropes, but I'm feeling good with this group of guys. It's a good team. So he's getting there. He's getting there. Was last night the game that sent him over the top? I'm not going to say yes because I need to see consistency first. I need to see him put a few games together, but I think this is a huge step in the right direction.
Well, you might be seeing a lot more of him because he's back in the lineup tonight, but hitting fifth and playing right field tonight. We'll go through the lineup in just a second. You might hear it in the background playing over our heads here at Gov Fuller Field as a heavy mist is what I would call it coming down on the field tonight. Tarp still on the field. We think this game is still going to start at its scheduled time in 14 minutes. They need to take the tarps off sometime here in the near future, but
I
as of
can't
right
do
now,
another delay, Calvin. I can't do it.
This game is scheduled to start on time at 6 o'clock in the heavy mist down here in Falmouth. You talked about Caden Wallace. Let's go to the mound because last night another stellar performance. Andrew Taylor, he didn't do 4 innings of 8 strikeout baseball like he did the first time. He got an outing that was here in Falmouth actually, where he threw 4 innings, striking out 8. He had a great outing, just giving up the 1 run, and then you can't say enough about Austin Parsley, who came out of the bullpen and just dealt a stellar performance. We've seen Parsley have a great start, and talking to people around the team, he's not a guy that's going to light up the bullpen, but he is a guy who is not going to walk you and can put it basically wherever he wants, and that's what makes him so effective.
Yeah, this Bourne pitching rotation, I wouldn't say it's overpowering. Yeah, it has some overpowering arms. Obviously, Reggie Crawford was throwing 101 miles per hour. He's with Team USA right now. And obviously, there are some guys in this rotation that can hit mid-90s. But for the most part, the reason the Braves pitching staff has been so successful is because these guys spot their pitches so well and they don't walk anyone. The biggest comparison I got to that is that they're all like Houston Street. Houston Street threw low 90s, high 80s, but he spotted his stuff, and he became one of the greatest closers of all time. Every guy is kind of doing that on this team right now. I talked with Andrew Taylor a little bit earlier today, and he said, simply, we all just throw strikes. Just pound the zone and good things will happen. So that's what they've been doing. And that starting pitching rotation has a ERA of 1.03 through the first 9 games. That's unbelievable.
Is that good?
That's pretty good, Calvin.
Well, the Tarps are now coming off the field, so that's good news. This game is going to start at its regularly scheduled 6 o'clock time. I'm a little surprised the lights are not on yet here at Go
They
Fuller
should
Field.
be.
They no doubt should be on. They're not on yet, but the Tarps are coming off the field. So first pitch is going to happen on time at 6 o'clock. We talked about the performance from Austin Parsley last night, and a very similar pitcher to him. I think Austin Parsley, compared to Hunter Omlin, who's getting the ball tonight, is probably the best direct comp you can make on this Braves pitching staff. Omlin not going to blow you away either, but if he can hit his spots tonight, he can be effective like he was in his first start of the season. That was on Friday against Harwich.
Yeah, he went 3 innings. He looked, pretty good. You can't complain. Gave you a quality outing to start the game. And then Michael Sansone came in and looked phenomenal. I think we might see him again tonight. And I'm looking forward to that matchup, see how he does in his second appearance. But, yeah, Hunter Omlin, this is a guy, again, as you said, he just knows his role, knows his job, knows how to work his stuff. These guys aren't coming out trying to gas you up, throw over 95 miles per hour. They're coming in and they're just trying to hit their spots. It's a simple game plan, and it's been working for the Bourne Braves.
This is the matchup of the top two teams in the Western Division here. The Braves at 7-0-2, the Commodores at 4-3-2.
Yep.
But to me, it is a perfect matchup for this Braves team because where does Falmouth struggle? They struggle pitching. Where do the Braves struggle?
Right now, hitting.
They're struggling to hit. Where does Falmouth dominate? They're a dominating hitting team, but the Braves are a dominating pitching team. So to me...
So are we feeling a 0-0 tie, Calvin? Is that what we're feeling?
No, I don't think so. Because
I hope not.
I think the Braves pitching can overcome this Falmouth lineup much, much better than the Falmouth pitching staff overcoming this Braves lineup. So I think this is a picture-perfect matchup for the Braves, which should segue us right into tonight's starting lineups for the Bravos, and that starts with Joe Lampe leading off, playing center. Had an off night last night, back in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, I think what he's done to the top of this order, you really can't say enough about it. But defensively, too, I think he's a great anchor out in center field, and I think what I want to see Lampe do tonight, get on base right out the gate. Obviously, that's how you want to start the game. And then first pitch that he's on base, steal.
Wow.
Do it. Because these conditions, not good. I want to see a lot of action on the base paths tonight. And that starts at the top of the order.
I think there's a difference, though, between being aggressive and being over-aggressive.
There is.
There's always a danger because...
But this is what I think.
Okay, here's my point, though. A North Carolina starting pitcher tonight is starting for Falmouth.
Yeah.
Joe Lampe plays at Arizona State. So unless these two matched up, at a camp or in travel ball somewhere, odds are they've never faced one another. So there's a definite risk when you're stealing first pitch on a guy's move you've never seen.
Listen, this is what I think, though. First pitch... I want to be aggressive because these conditions are not good. I want to test the catcher.
I'm not saying you can't steal on the first at bat.
If they have a good scouting report on the kid.
It doesn't need to be first pitch, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
first
fair.
at bat, yes.
First at bat, yes. All right.
It
fine.
doesn't need to be the first pitch of the
I'm in a good mood, Calvin. I was going for the gold, I guess.
If Joe Lampe does get on base to start this game, Christian Knapczyk will be the guy in the batter's box when he tries to steal second. Knapczyk, staying in the lineup at shortstop, was in the leadoff spot last night, drops down to his normal 2 spot with Joe Lampe coming back to the lineup. He's at shortstop. He's batting second.
So Lampe gets on. He steals. I want Knapczyk putting a bunt down the third base line, getting on. And then first pitch, I want Knapczyk going to second.
First pitch? You got to calm down here.
I know, I'm kidding. But, seriously. Lampe and Knapczyk, 1-2 punch that believes they're the best in the Cape, and they've put up numbers recently to be in that conversation. I want you guys being aggressive on the base paths tonight. We haven't seen that a lot from Bourne this year.
No, we haven't.
So I want that to happen. There's no better night than tonight to be aggressive on the base paths.
I agree with you.
Do it.
I agree with you. And then speaking of aggressive, Harvey Shapiro making a aggressive move, putting Max Anderson in the 3 spot. He had a 2-for-3 night in his first game.
He's 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Yeah, he had the walk. So 2 for 2 night. He's batting 1,000, but still, in the 3 spot tonight, is it a bold move?
I think so, because this is game 2 of his Bourne Braves career. That surprised me to see him in the 3-hole. I thought he'd be 5-hole. I think that's a good spot for him. 3-hole, a little bit aggressive, but the man has never gotten out in Bourne, so go for it.
Why not?
Go for it.
So he's at third base hitting third, Dalton rushing back in the 4 spot. I think that's where he's going to live. For the remainder of the time Reggie Crawford's not with his team, he's at first base.
Well, he needs to jump. I said this yesterday. He needs to jump on a pitch early in the count because, again, I think he had 2 strikeouts looking last night, I believe, at least 2. So he's been kind of watching strike 3 go by him without a rip up there. So you got to jump on something early, or I don't know if it's a pitch recognition thing. I don't know if umpires are having a little bit of a bigger zone with him. I know the call that he got the other night that ended the game on the strike three looking, he seemed a little upset, but I don't know what it is. Just jump on a pitch early.
Caden Wallace, we talked about him in the open. He's in left field. He's hitting fifth.
Caden Wallace, this is a crucial game for him. He needs to keep it going.
I think so, too. Colton Bender, he needs to keep it going,
Oh,
too.
man.
He's been red hot. He's doing the catching, hitting sixth.
Over 400. He's been hitting the cover off the ball. Let's see what he does tonight.
I think so, too. Braylon Wimmer in left field, back in the outfield, hit seventh.
Another power bat towards the end of the lineup.
Josh Moylan, a guy who's really struggled. Harvey Shapiro putting him back in the lineup. He's doing the designated hitting. He's hitting eighth.
I'm surprised he's DHing tonight for sure. I feel like
Why? Why is that a surprise?
He's been hitting. I mean, he's been doing nothing at the plate.
I think he's been doing. Are you surprised to see him in the lineup in general, though?
Yeah, I understand why he's
Okay.
DHing because the defense
Yes,
hasn't been there.
yes.
I'm just surprised Harvey Shapiro is keeping the bat in the lineup.
I'm not surprised by that because you saw
All
Josh
right.
Moylan. You look at his numbers from college. That's
I know,
You
but
gotta,
still.
at some point, I think he's going to turn around. You got to keep
Yeah.
sticking with him. And then Tanner Schobel, your guy batting ninth, playing second base.
I like him at the 9 spot, but he's got to produce more. The 9 hole has not been producing much between Goodwin, Schobel, these past few games. It just hasn't been producing much. So get something going for the top of the order. 9 hole is crucial tonight. Schobel needs to pick up the slack for that 9 hole. We know he can do it. We've seen him do it in the past. Do it tonight. As I said, no better night than tonight.
No
Calvin.
better night than the night. And the heavy mist coming down, the ceremonial first pitch happening on the field here at Gov Fuller Field. And that's a perfect time for Nick, you, to give me your pick to pop for tonight.
Oh, give me Max Anderson. Come on. Give me Max Anderson. I'll take him. I like
Are
it.
you fired up from that strike
I like it.
of a first
He's
pitch?
never been out in Bourne. Give me Max Anderson.
You're going Max Anderson, which, to be honest with you, Nick, if we're being honest,
Yeah?
I was going Max Anderson.
Yeah, well, guess
tonight.
what? Nicky G beat you to the punch,
So,
kid.
You took it out of my mouth. I'm going to go with Joe Lampe. I think Joe Lampe has
Okay,
a
I like
three-hit
it.
night tonight.
Woo, that's bold.
3-hit night for
That's
Joe
really
Lampe
bold.
tonight. You heard it here first. Keep tracks of our picks to pop. Hopefully, they'll be on Twitter tonight at the Nick Galley. Maybe he'll be keeping you updated on
Oh, I got you.
how our picks to pop are doing. I got Joe Lampe. Nick's going with Max Anderson, the one of the 3 hitters in this Braves lineup tonight. We still got a little bit more time left here, Nick, before the Braves take the field. Actually, it'll be Falmouth taking the field at their home park. So give me a key tonight for the Braves to win.
Jump on this Falmouth team early. They did it the first time around.
Absolutely.
Reggie Crawford home. What? They got 2 in the first
2
inning,
in
I
the
believe.
first,
Yeah.
2 in the second, 1 in the third.
Yeah, jump early. That's one thing this Braves team has not been doing as of late. So I want another 2 runs in the first inning.
All right, that'll do it for the Bravos. The national anthem is about to happen here at Gov Fuller Field. And following the anthem, Daniel Coates and Reeves Jackson will have the call. Enjoy the game, everybody.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Gov Fuller Field as the undefeated Bourne Braves look to sink the Falmouth Commodores on the road here today and remain undefeated against a Western Division foe. My name's Daniel Coates. Alongside me is Reeves Jackson. It is sprinkling here in Falmouth, Massachusetts. Another Cape Cod League baseball day that's becoming a typical theme to have rain pretty much every game that we've had this past week, but
can't catch a break.
Nevertheless, this might be the best conditions we have had in the last 3 days in Falmouth, Massachusetts, and a military appreciation day as the Falmouth Commodores are wearing their Friday Reds. Reeves, we have a new lineup from yesterday that we faced against the Brewster Whitecaps, and that's going to be started off by Joe Lampe, Christian Knapczyk, and Max Anderson with the 4-spot hitter. Dalton rushing. We might see him in the second inning, but a really good lineup here today and a change in the defense out on the field. It should pose for what could be a comeback from some offensive woes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Braves offense really was hot on the road. Then they went home, Daniel, and we know what happened there. The Braves bats went cold, but able to pick up 2 ties and a win. Obviously, a few of those games coming at Doran Park. And now we head back on the road here. A game today on the road, and then back home tomorrow versus Wareham before we play a 4th of July date with them at Spillane Field. But here today, got Joe Lampe back in the leadoff spot after a day off yesterday. And Max Anderson, high belief from Harvey Shapiro, getting moved up into that 3-hole. Oh, we see Dalton rushing in the first inning today. Let's see him in the first. Let's see this Braves team score 2 more like they did the last time here in Falmouth.
Joe Lampe back in the lineup and back in the starting position. He takes the first pitch. He shows bunt but pulls back. Connor Bovair for the Falmouth Commodores from Fort Edward, New York. In North Carolina, Chapel Hill will be on the mound for the Commodores.
Yeah, Connor Bovair's numbers on the year as, sorry, Dale, didn't mean to interrupt you. His ball 2 thrown there. Bovair on the season, 3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Braves looking to take advantage of him here tonight.
Lampe sees his first strike of the day, 2-1. Joe Lampe was out of the lineup, and actually the man on deck was the leadoff hitter in Christian Knapczyk. 2-1, Bovair from the windup. The lights slowly coming on here at Gov Fuller. 3-1 quickly to Joe Lampe, and it is huge in this game for Joe Lampe to get the Braves off to a hot offensive start.
Well, we know the play discipline of Joe Lampe, some of the best in the league, and looking to take ball 4. Tough conditions for pitchers to pitch in today.
He checks on that one, but it's a called strike anyway. Full count and a payoff pitch coming from the UNC Chapel Hill, Connor Bovair.
Yeah, good fastball. It's going to be in the low 90s, but locates well. Walked 2 hitters in 3 innings against Hyannis. That was on June 25th.
The right-hander pitcher's payoff pitch in the dirt. Joe Lampe will trough safely to first base, and here comes Christian Knapczyk, who has been a staple of this lineup for Harvey Shapiro from Louisville. On deck will be number 11, Max Anderson, the newcomer, Nebraska Cornhusker, but no outs and a man on first. Joe Lampe takes to the base path to start things off here in Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Yeah, Knapczyk on the year for these Bravos, 333 hitter, 10 hits. That leads the team 10 for 30 on the season.
Christian Knapczyk flares one foul well over the dugout of the Braves.
Well, it feels weird that we're back on the road. It felt weird to be home after our long road trip. Now it feels weird to be back here. I've already been to Falmouth once this season.
We just settled into Doran Park, and all of a sudden they pull us right back. We've spent a lot of time there over the last 2 games.
Yeah, we certainly have.
No outs, top of the first at Gov Fuller. Bovair misses with a breaking ball. It drops off the table. 1-1.
I know our Nick Galley mentioned before the Bravos he'd love to see Joe Lampe off and running early if he were to reach base, and we'll see if he's off on the move. Didn't go on the first pitch like Nick said he would like to see, but Joe could potentially be moving here.
Joe Lampe dives back.
Defense here for the Commodores, Curiali, Hall, and Brofin left to right. Ducart, Colden, Taylor, Armstrong third to first. The battery combination of Bovair and French is behind the dish tonight.
A rip towards right center going is Hall, the center fielder. He's got it. Joe Lampe retreats back to first. That's Bovair's first out of the day. And Christian Knapczyk flares one to right center and is taken care of.
Yeah, Max Anderson in the 3 spot tonight here for the Bourne Braves. I would like to hope that Harvey Shapiro listened to the pregame show yesterday when I said Max Anderson would be in my 3 spot if I had to create a Bourne Braves lineup, and then the day after he is. So
sometimes I wonder why you're here and not in the dugout. But Max Anderson, the Big Ten freshman of the year from Nebraska, has a man on and faces a first pitch breaking ball from Bourne inside and high for strike 1. So 0-1, Joe Lampe, speedy guy on first. Didn't have an opportunity to tag up off of Christian Knapczyk's fly ball to center field. He dives back again, Bourne checking in on him. So 0-1 with 1 out at Gov Fuller Field. It is misting underneath the lights here. Uncharacteristically dark with an overcast climate that we face today in the 6 o'clock first pitch. The 0-1. Going is Lampe, firing it down. Looks like he might be safe. He just got under the tag of Calden at short, and French a bit late behind the plate on that throw.
And Joe Lampe off with the 3rd batter of the game, 2nd batter after he reached base. And the Braves have a runner in scoring position early, although a 2-strike count here to Max Anderson.
Max Anderson was 2 for 2 in his appearance, with a walk, I should say, against the Harwich Mariners just a few days ago. The Cornhusker and the newcomer making a name for himself early. Check swing, that's in the dirt. Looking towards Joe Lampe, down, and they got Max Anderson after a 3rd strike, goes into the dirt. But Joe Lampe will stay at 2nd, and French behind the plate looked him down and made sure he was staying at that 2nd base position. And here comes the 4-spot hitter. We said we hoped that we would see him again. Scoring position for the Bourne Braves, Joe Lampe at 2nd. Another opportunity to work on one of the weaknesses that the Braves have, and that is leaving men aboard on scoring positions, ending innings. High line drive to left field. Underneath it is Curiali, and he takes care of business at the warning track, and that will do it. Bourne gets out of that inning with Joe Lampe and a Brave in scoring position. We're going to be right back, myself, Reeves, Jackson, and Daniel Coates, right after this quick break.
Gloves. And now leading things off for the Commodores, the designated
Hunter Ohmwood will be the pitcher starting today for the Bourne Braves. After a scoreless top of the first, the Braves are back on defense once again and can't get things going to start this game. Hunter Olmwood, the Hamilton, Montana native, start things off on the outside for ball 1. Here comes Luke Boyers, the designated hitter, and TCU Horned Frog digs in. The lefty is the designated hitter today. Hunter Olmwood finds the strike zone on the outside high part of the zone. 1-1.
Yeah, Olmwood on the season, 3 innings, 1 earned run allowed. That was a start a week ago against the Harwich Mariners at White House Field.
That breaking ball misses outside. A solid change of pace there from Hunter Olmwood. He saw some time back in Harwich with that start. They ended up winning, flared by Boyers.
Yeah, Olmwood's going to have a fastball in the high 80s. Well, as you mentioned, change it up with a breaking ball and a changeup as well. Does love to throw that changeup. He threw it a lot against the Mariners a week ago. It's a great secondary pitch that he will rely on a lot tonight.
The 2-2, low and inside. Colton Bender behind the plate, full count. And Hunter Olmwood, the Central Arizona product, will be transferring from that JUCO to Grand Canyon University. The payoff pitch, high flare, that's looking towards left field at the moment. And there is Wimmer, who is changing from his position we saw him last in at second. That will do it for Boyers to start things off. He flies out to left.
Good start there for Hunter Olmwood. He's going to fill up the zone and throw strikes. We saw that last week versus Harwich, as Hunter Olmwood in that start did not walk a batter. It's something that is so common among these Braves pitchers. They've only issued 19 walks all season as an entire pitching staff, compared to 98 strikeouts.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable strikeout to walk ratios, and it's what their scouting report said on their numbers this past season at their respective schools.
The 0-1 turns to 0-2 to Jake Brofin, the right fielder. He looks at 2, 1 out, bottom of the first. Hunter Olmwood working quickly on the mound from the windup. The delivery. Change up on the outside, too far wide, 1-2.
Jace Brofin in the left-handed batter's box, right fielder today here for the Falmouth Commodores, as you mentioned, in those red tops for Military Appreciation Fridays. Braves in their blue tops, obviously on the road, navy blue with the red script, red hats, blue brim, and gray pants with the red piping down the side. A sharp look for the Bravos.
The 1-2. Chopper, Hunter Olmwood can't get to it, so Schobel scoops it up and tosses it over to Dalton Rushing for out number 2. A weak ground ball to the right side of the infield, and Tanner Schobel back at second. Christian Knapczyk will be at short. Often see Nick Goodwin, who had an offensive juggernaut of a night the last time we were here at Gov Fuller, 4 for 5 with a homer. Christian Knapczyk will take over the shortstop position. Tanner Schobel with the play there remains at second.
A Braves pitching staff that is highlighted by the strikeout leader in Austin Parsley, who picked up his second win of the season last night.
And the first pitch to Taylor is in the dirt. 2 outs, top, or bottom, I should say, of the first. And Hunter Olmwood, productive once again. Again in the dirt with the breaking ball, 2-0.
And a Braves pitching staff, as I mentioned, Parsley 14 strikeouts over 9 1/3 innings, leads this team in innings thrown. Right behind him is Nick Zawak with 9 innings. He's struck out 9. Olmwood obviously struck out 3 in his 3 innings of work against Harwich, as I had said.
A third pitch in the dirt, 3-0 to the 3-spot hitter, Braden Taylor. He's at second base today for the Falmouth Commodores. Hunter will be delivering from the windup. Wet conditions in Falmouth, Massachusetts, the 3-0. And that, again, is a ball, but it is outside, so the Falmouth Commodores will get on base with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Hunter Olmwood allows his first base runner of the game.
Yeah, a team-leading 8th walk of the season now for Braden Taylor. Came into today hitting .306, 11 for 36 on the season. They'll now have to deal with Christopher Armstrong.
Here comes Chris Armstrong. He has an opportunity to advance a runner at first. It is 2 outs, bottom of the first. So a walk there for Hunter Olmwood before he can get a strikeout on the day. High breaking ball outside, catches upstairs for strike one. This is the 4-spot hitter, Christopher Armstrong, defensively at first base for Falmouth. And on base is Braden Taylor at first. Hunter Olmwood transitions to the stretch. Again, an outside breaking ball catches for an 0-2 lead. Hunter Olmwood with a chance to end the first inning.
The only difference about the past few days coming into today is the temperature has dropped about 12 to 14 degrees. It is a chilly night, and it's that annoying mist that just keeps bugging you and getting all of your equipment wet, but not wet enough where you need to protect it.
The 0-2 check swing for Christopher Armstrong. Did he go? No. The umpire at second base says he held off. It will move to 1-2. Hunter Olmwood still ahead, though. 2 outs, bottom of the second, scoreless here in Falmouth.
Yeah, obviously the umpire at second didn't have a great view at that, but definitely not going around there was Armstrong. Did indeed check the swing.
Taylor taking the lead. Breaking ball to Armstrong, sprayed the other way, foul. Just by the bullpen of the Braves. 1-2 it remains.
And going with the slider there on 1-2 there was Olmwood. 82 on the gun, and good job by Chris Armstrong to fight that one out of play. Mist is now raining sideways into the deck that we are covered by. Thankful to the people of Falmouth to let us stay under here for the day.
Armstrong fouls it off back into the fence. 1-2 again. And we have taken refuge from our normal place here in Falmouth, which is just on the fence. We are now underneath the press box on their deck, so it is misting sideways, and we cannot avoid the rain here today and the last 3 days for that matter. 1-2, 2 outs, Hunter Olmwood to the 4-spot, Armstrong. Taylor at first, bottom of the first. Swing and a miss. Hunter Olmwood gets out of the inning and leaves the Falmouth Commodore aboard. We'll go back into the batter's box, top of the second. Daniel Coates for Reeves Jackson. We'll be back 0-0 at Gov Fuller Field.
Some awesome prizes as well. 8 tosses for 6 is a deal you can. University of Arkansas Fayetteville, number 15.
To the top of the second we go. Caden Wallace, the right-handed hitter, will dig in to start things off at Gov Fuller Field. It is starting to pick up a bit with the precipitation as it has. Caden Wallace lays one down. Coming in is Bover. The second, the catcher throws it way over. Caden Wallace will now advance from first to second, and he will start things off. Does he go to third? He's thinking about it. He's in the middle of the base path, and I think he will get up standing at third base. So that is French behind the plate. And after a weak, shallow bunt, Caden Wallace makes it all the way from the batter's box to third base after a wild throw from the catcher in French. So I believe that actually will be out of play. Caden Wallace now trotting back from third to second. He will stand safe at second, and here comes Colton Bender. So Caden Wallace really picking things off for Reggie Crawford and his departure. Caden Wallace, 2 for 3 yesterday. He was responsible for all 3 RBIs on the game yesterday against the Brewster Whitecaps in their 3-1 victory. Here comes Colton Bender taking the duties of Peter Burns behind the plate, and he is hitting in the 6th spot, moving up from his normal position. Bovair catches him looking with a breaking ball that drops on the inside part of the zone. Caden Wallace from Arkansas taking a lead at second, not covered. But Bovair in a bit of trouble here to start things off in the top of the 2nd. Ripped down the right field line. Will it get down? And it will. Caden Wallace should score easily. Colton Bender turning second, going towards. And he will be called to stay at second, as that one is going to be what I believe is out of play again. So Gov Fuller not doing any favors for the Falmouth Commodores here today. Colton Bender would have been easily safe at second on his own, but the umpire moves him from first to second, and he has an RBI. The Braves are on the board, 1-0 here. The Road Warriors again taking care of business early on in the game. Braylon Wimmer will be the 7-spot hitter. With the same position that Colton Bender had, Caden Wallace scores from second. So Bovair lets up a run. That's the first pitch in the dirt. Braylon Wimmer from South Carolina looks at a first pitch ball breaking in the dirt. Wet conditions here today. We are already under the lights after this 6 p.m. first pitch. Colton Bender with a lead at second. Bovair. Swing and a miss, 1-1 of a breaking ball that dropped off the table on the outside part. Braylon Wimmer facing a 1-1 count. On deck will be Joshua Moylan, the designated hitter for the day in the 8th spot. In the hole will be Tanner Schobel, and then to the top of the order we will go. Colton Bender with a beautiful piece of hitting opposite way down the right field line. Another breaking ball and a swing and a miss. 1-2, Braylon Wimmer behind the count now.
Daniel, what happens? I go and get a towel to cover our equipment, and the Braves are already on the board. Colton Bender?
It was a beautiful, beautiful hit, and that will do it for Braylon Wimmer. He goes down swinging, and that will be the first out. Caden Wallace started things off with a bunt that was shallow. Didn't even make it to the grass here on the field. And a wild throw from French advanced him to second. And a Colton Bender bash down the right field line sent him home. Colton Bender still at second. Here comes Joshua Moylan. He struggled as of late at the plate. 1-0, but he will be at the designated hitter spot for the Braves, often seen in the field at first. First pitch, fastball inside for Bovair, breaking. Second pitch, 1-1. That one catches low and outside. So the count is knotted up with the 9-spot hitter, Tanner Schobel, on deck. Colton Bender still at second, only one out in the top of the second.
Yeah, Moylan just 2 for 15 on the year, so looking to get the bat going here at the plate. No better time to do it with the runner on second.
Again, an impressive breaking ball, turns to 1-2. Joshua Moylan looks at it. That 12-6 breaking ball. Really hard thus far for the Braves to make contact with it. But they are making offensive noise early on in their road game, coming off 2 home games. Swing and a miss. Joshua Moylan goes to first. That's going to get behind French. Colton Bender will go to third, and Joshua Moylan will get on base after swinging at a strike on the 3rd strike and advancing to first. But a 1st and 3rd situation, French having problems early with the wet conditions.
You know what? If it's a drop 3rd strike that allows Moylan to reach base, it'll break the shine at the plate. And if it's just being on base, then so be it. He'll take it. Obviously, Moylan's struggles continue, but he's aboard, and that's all that matters. Braves with runners with the corners looking to strike again here in the 2nd inning, Daniel. This is an offense that seems to be thriving on the road when they're away from Doran Park.
Tanner Schobel at the plate faces another breaking ball. It's inside for ball 1. Colton Bender at 3rd, Joshua Moylan at 1st. 1 out, top of the 2nd. The Braves have already scored 1 here early on in Falmouth. And Bovair struggling. The 1-0. Swing and a miss from Tanner Schobel. He put all he had into that one. It turns to 1-1. Fully under the lights here now. A very dark and cloudy early evening on the road at Gov Fuller. A fastball turned right back into the fence for a foul ball. 1-2. The count goes.
Yeah, it was on the run back, Daniel, when I saw Colton Bender just shoot that ball on the right field line. Heard a cheer, and then I saw Bender running to second, and I said, you know what? We definitely did something good, and
Yes,
we did. It was a good sight to see.
And we still have an opportunity to do more here in the top of the second. Bover from the stretch. Foul ball down towards the Bourne Braves dugout. Tanner Schobel stays alive, 1-2. We will see Joe Lampe pending a potential double play scenario up the middle of the infield.
Couldn't exactly tell if that was a changeup or a slider there from Bover.
Again, an instance of situational hitting that could come in handy for Tanner Schobel and the Braves here. 1-2. Bover, that one slapped up the middle, fielded by Colton. Does he get him at 2? He does, and at first he does as well. Double play. Again, I shouldn't
Daniel, you jinxed
keep
it.
guessing this because I jinxed it right there. 2 Braves left on base. That's 3 if you're counting on the day, but the Braves get a 1-0 lead thanks to a Colton Bender double. Caden Wallace, the Razorback from Arkansas, scoring and making it 1-0. We have an early lead here at Gov Fuller Field. Bottom of the second, the Braves end their at-bats with 2 men on base, 1 in scoring position. Colton Bender at third, Joshua Moylan at first after Tanner Schobel grounded into a double play. Hunter Olmwood on the mound again. Ground ball towards Schobel. He fields it cleanly and throws it right over, and that's Jake Ducart, the third baseman, grounding off the first pitch he sees.
Yeah, nice job there by Hunter Olmwood. Obviously, what you want to do when you're a pitcher on the mound and your team gives you a lead is you want to come back down and have a shutdown half inning and a good start to get Jake Ducart. As he'll have Jonathan French, who has had a bit of a struggle behind the plate, but obviously with the conditions, we saw Peter Burns having some trouble last night, throwing some balls into, or threw one ball into center field, I should say, and had trouble gripping the ball in another play.
He looks at a breaking ball, strike 1 on the outside, so French over through. Early on, a throw to first, and he swings and misses 0-2. Hunter Olmwood, something that he really is looking for today, especially with these conditions, is to make sure that the Falmouth Commodores don't get into any sort of rhythm with their at-bats. There was 1 left on after the bottom of the first, and that will do it. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. French down again, and his tough day at Gov Fuller continues. 2 outs in the bottom of the second, closer to the top of the third. Hunter Olmwood dealing right now on the bump.
And Michael Curiali now to the plate. This is a guy who we saw hit a grand slam over the left field wall against Ben Etheridge, Southern Miss right-hander for the Braves. That was when Falmouth put together a 5-run fifth.
Curiali looks at a fastball lone outside. That catches 0-1. 2 outs, bottom of the second.
Curiali tied for the most at-bats on the team coming into the game with 36 as that pitch missed downstairs, but 10 for 36 on the year, 278 hitter is Curiali. 1 homer, that was the grand slam against us, and 10 RBIs tied for the team lead with Jace Barofin.
1-1 slap the other way foul. Well over the fans here at Gov Fuller, who have actually come out and impressively have shown their support.
You're not kidding.
On a really miserable day.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily downpouring, just
that annoying miss.
A consistent miss. The 1-2. Curiali swings at a high fastball, and that will do it, I believe. Some confusion from Colton Bender, and they finally go into the dugout. That will do it. And again, Hunter Olmwood looking like a pitcher that has proven he can be a reliable starter after 2. 1-0, the Braves are leading and look to improve on that 1-run cushion. We'll be back in just a few moments. The Bourne Braves lead 1-0 going to the top of the third. Hunter Olmwood pitching incredibly well as he did at Harwich. And I'm going to send it over to Reeves Jackson for the next 2 innings. But again, the Braves in the comfortable position again at Gov Fuller Field after the 13-8 victory just a week ago.
So the next 7 innings? Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it. Just messing with you. As Joe Lampe, first pitch swinging from Beauvert and chops it foul over towards the first base dugout. Joe Lampe, as he has done so often this year, getting on base to start the game, and a lot of times he's done that by being patient and drawing walks. That's what he did in the first.
Beauvert with an impressive breaking ball thus far.
Yeah, missed upstairs with it right there. 1-1 count.
And not necessarily like he's missing the strike zone now. He really has a handle on that strike zone, but it's a very hittable ball, and the Braves have attacked it early on.
1 ball, 1 strike pitch here to Joe Lampe is that breaking ball finds its way in the zone. Good pitch from Beauvert, and the count is in his favor. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The nice camo hats and high socks that Beauvert is rocking with the garnet red, almost South Carolina colors. As that changeup is taken outside from Lampe. Might have started on the black, but then moved outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lights are on, overcast skies. The exact opposite we saw last time as Joe Lampe is going to spray a base hit into left. He'll take a wide turn around first, but Curiali will get it in, and Joe Lampe is back in the hit column after a scoreless performance in his last time out of the leadoff spot. Lampe aboard with a single. He's been aboard twice today. The Braves have 3 hits And now here comes Christian Knapczyk.
Yeah, that's huge for not just the Braves getting on base with no outs in the top of the third. Just for Joe Lampe, he slowed down a little. He had such a hot start to the season. That was highlighted as well by his last appearance here at Gov Fuller. But after that walk, he's 1 for 1 on the day for the Arizona State Sun Devil. It's huge for him to catch rhythm again.
Knapczyk, the batter, with Lampe at first. He had a stolen base coupled with that walk to begin the game as Knapczyk takes a breaking ball at 74 miles an hour across for strike one. So no hits so far thus far for Falmouth. They're 2 innings, 1 error, and the Braves, meanwhile, have put 3 hits on the board. They got a run on the Colton Bender RBI ground rule double that got out of play as Knapczyk is going to fly this one into shallow left in a few steps as Curiali makes the catch one away.
Here comes Max Anderson again. He struck out.
Oh, is league leading in 1,000 batting
after
through 2 at-bats? Yeah.
After just one game, I did joke that he was leading the league, and I guess technically, yes, he was.
If you didn't have a minimum number of at-bats, you had to qualify for.
But Max Anderson has another opportunity to put runs on the board. Joe Lampe at first.
If you were to be here at the ballpark today, you would not guess this is a 4th of July weekend baseball game. Not acting like it here on a Friday night. As I mentioned, as Lampe singled, the exact opposite of the weather we got. As Anderson is going to crack this one towards the gap, and that's going to get down, and it's going to hop off of the wall. Joe Lampe is heading around third. Harvey Shapiro gives him the go, and Lampe scores. It's an RBI double for Max Anderson, who welcomes himself to the team even more with that gapper, and the Braves take a 2-0 lead.
Wow, Max Anderson put everything he had into that one. A frozen rope to left center. Nothing Curiali or Hall could do about it in the outfield, and there's nothing they could do about the speediness of Joe Lampe. He was not going to be stopped from first base. He scores all the way from first to home, and the Braves have a 2-0 cushion early on and continue to be the leading team again.
Here comes Dalton Rushing, now with Anderson aboard at second. As a breaking ball misses inside, it's Harvey Shapiro's decision to hit him in the 3-hole, and so far, Daniel, it's paying off. Anderson comes through big with an RBI double. The Braves, who have struggled a bit lately to score with runners in scoring position, having no trouble so far tonight through 2.5 innings. As Dalton Rushing skies this one high and deep to center. Hall going back. He looks up, and it is gone. Dalton Rushing with a 2-run shot, and the Braves looking like they did the last time they visited the Commodores. It's 4-0 here in the top of the third.
I don't think they should take batting practice before the game anymore. It seems to have worked here. 13 runs is in trouble to be the highest that they put up this season at Gov Fuller. 4-0 in the top of the third, thanks to Max Anderson, as well as Dalton Rushing sending him in. The Braves have a 4-0 lead, and Bovair is struggling here at Gov Fuller.
Caden Wallace, who had the 2-run shot, as you mentioned when he came to the plate, Daniel, a 2-run shot last night was the deciding blow in the game as the Braves took a 2-run, 3-1 lead in the 5th. Game obviously finished after the completion of 7 innings as Wallace takes a breaking ball outside, 1 ball, no strike. So Bovair getting roughed up this inning as gets Wallace to swing through that breaking ball. Caden Wallace had the bunt single, advanced to second on the throwing error from French, and then was driven in on the Colton Bender RBI double. How about Colton Bender? You want to talk about the work that he has done this season as Colton Bender came into today, Daniel, as the team's leading hitter, a .412 average. He's only improved upon that today as Wallace now down on the count, a ball and 2 strikes as Bovair gets one ahead. And from the windup here, Bovair deals, and a slider misses down and outside. But Colton Bender offensively has been a bright spot here for the Braves early on in the season. Had the game-tying home run on Wednesday night against Harwich after the delay. As Wallace strikes out, swinging, not a breaking ball.
Really nasty breaking ball from Bovair there. Drops about 15 miles per hour from his fastball that sits about low 90s. So, Caden Wallace, you know, nothing really you can do there. You can't ask for much more after starting things off.
Yeah, Colton Bender 8 for 18 on the season after that RBI double. Has driven in 5 runs, has the home run on the season. Braylon Wimmer leads this team in RBIs as Bender chops this one foul, 0-1. But Wimmer with 2 homers and 8 RBIs. Wimmer came into this game hitting .231. He struck out swinging. He is in the on-deck circle. Colton Bender is going to be a welcome addition in the Big Ten for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights next year. Transferring from Quinnipiac, 0-1 from Beauvais. Breaking ball that Bender chops off of his calf. And into the backstop, 0-2. Beauvais relying heavily here on the breaking ball this inning here, Daniel.
Most certainly, and that seems to be his pitch of choice. It's finding the strike zone. The Braves really haven't been able to attack it as much as his fastball.
As Colton Bender is going to lift a light pop-up that is heading towards the Braves bullpen and out of play over on Shun Hill. What they call that hill over there where we filmed our pregame Tomahawk Talk. As one of the fans tells Colton Bender to hit it off the scoreboard right in front of us. I think that's a good idea. I think Bender should listen to
and he could
the fans.
If Harwich, the game against Harwich at Doran Park is any example, I think if you put that ball,
hit,
that ball would hit the scoreboard.
Honestly,
here at Gulf Fuller.
it might clear it. It might have gone over.
With the wind that we get at Doran, it might.
That's the thing about Doran is that breaking ball misses in the dirt. Good eye from Bender. There's always that jet stream at Doran Park that is just carrying out of the outfield.
There really is. Not a lot of that today here at Falmouth. It's really going from our left to right. So not helping, but not necessarily hurting these batters.
Bender skies this one into deep right. Brophin getting chased back near the warning track and puts a squeeze on it. But the Braves put 3 runs across in the top of the third. Max Anderson drove in Joe Lampe with an RBI double after Lampe led off the inning with an opposite field single. And then with Anderson aboard, Dalton Rushing crushed his second home run of the season, a 2-run shot into center field that went over the wall. And the Braves lead it 4-0 here at Gulf Fuller Field as we head to the home half of the third. Back with you after a brief moment. Back with you here from Falmouth, Gulf Fuller Field. Reeves Jackson, joined by my broadcast partner and good friend Daniel Coates here. Home half of the third inning where it'll be Anthony Hall, Cody Colden, and Luke Boyers as we get set. For the bottom half, Hunter Olmwood back on the mound. He has pitched beautifully here early on. Gets a chopper over the mound, but nice play by Olmwood. Fields his position well. It pulled Rushing off the bag on the throw. He tried to get the foot back in time. But the first base umpire over there in Joe Peters waves the arm safe as Anthony Hall was able to get the bag before Rushing got back.
Hunter Olmwood jumped sky high, fell on the left side of the pitching mound and just couldn't set his feet and get his balance. Dalton Rushing almost went into a full split at first.
He almost did.
But hey, we haven't even gotten through the first part, or I should say, we haven't even gotten through one rotation of the lineup here for the Falmouth Commodores, and they put up 7 against us in the last game. So with a man on first in the bottom of the third, anything can happen here.
A popped up bunt, Colton Bender with a little basket catch behind the plate there from Cody Colden. So sacrifice attempt unsuccessful, and there's one down here in the Commodores half of the third.
Exactly what Hunter Olmwood needed after that miscue on the last play, just throwing it a bit to his left for Dalton Rushing. Colton Bender bailing him out right there after a pop-up from Colden, follows brilliantly right into the breadbasket of Colton Bender.
Back to the top of the order, you mentioned the lineup flips over here now to Luke Boyers. He flew out to Wimmer and left to begin the bottom of the first against Hunter Olmwood, who has been excellent early on as that fastball finds the zone. Good pitch at 86 ahead of Luke Boyers, 0-1.
Luke Boyers flew out to start things off in the bottom of the first for the Commodores, over to left field and Braylon Wimmer.
Wind starting to pick up a little bit more throughout the evening. 0-1, runner on the move. Bender with a double pump and no chance to get Anthony Hall, who got an excellent jump. Gets the stolen base.
And again, there are the conditions. Colton Bender had the first pump, and then the ball just slipped out of his hands a bit, had to go with a second pump. Got to imagine that's because of the moist condition of the ball coming out of Hunter Olmwood's hand, but advancing to second will be Hall. And good backup by Tanner Schobel. He was right there behind Knapczyk after a poor throw from Bender.
Line drive to short. Knapczyk reaches and can't get it. It's a base hit for Luke Boyers. Having to retreat to the bag at second initially was Anthony Hall in case Knapczyk made an outstanding catch. So Hall only able to get to third, but a rip into center field for Luke Boyers. And now the Commodores looking to strike here in the bottom of the third. Runners on the corners and just one down for Jace Brofen.
Colton Bender giving the signs for a first and third situation. Knapczyk, if he was just 2 or 3 feet to his left, I'm sure that was ending up in his glove. But the Falmouth Commodores responding to this 4-0 lead that the Braves have put up early, and Hunter Olmwood in the stretch is going to have to battle back here in the bottom of the third.
Would love a pitcher's best friend and a double play ball here as Borfen steps in and ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes.
Should I say it like I did with Tanner Schobel?
Yeah, maybe you can get a jinx on them.
Pending
say
a double play here. And as I say that,
yes.
Christian Knapczyk and Tanner Schobel are actually pinching towards that second base position at the moment, looking for that type of play.
Pitch misses downstairs, rubbed the dirt a little bit, but Olmwood wants that same ball back. 2 balls and no strikes. 4-0 Bourne, home half of the third. It was the first stolen base for Anthony Hall. He's now at third. Olmwood delivers the 2-0, misses downstairs, and Olmwood in danger here of putting Borfen on with a base on balls and loading the bases for Braden Taylor. Borfen, a .379 hitter coming into play today, 11 for 29, 2 homers, 10 driven in. 3-0, fastball hits the corner, and back in the count is Olmwood at 3-1.
Great pitch by Olmwood there, 3-0. All you got to do is really hit the strike zone.
This is a Falmouth team that is tied for second fewest homers in the league with 5. A Bourne team that is tied for second most with 11. Good pitch right there. Looks like Olmwood pulled a string on Borfen. A 3-1 changeup, and now the count has run full 3-2. Will be interesting to see if they send Boyers from first. I doubt they do, though, with a runner on third.
All of a sudden, Hunter Olmwood has a payoff pitch here. A huge get if you can get him here.
3-2 fastball outside corner. And a called strike 3, a big pitch for Hunter Olmwood. He sits down Borfen and came back down 3-0 with 3 consecutive strikes and gets Borfen looking 2 down.
And the defense can breathe a sigh of relief because that was a tough situation, especially facing 3-0, 3 straight strikes in a row for the Grand Canyon University transfer. Actually started his college career at Boise State from Hamilton, Montana. I've actually been out there twice, believe it or not. Reeves, I know we had a fan here talking to
one of your friends. That was a
one
cool
of my
moment.
buddies.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask you more about that here as that pitch misses downstairs. But one of your buddies, is he from Hamilton or what's the story?
He has family there.
Family,
And when
okay,
I tell
okay.
you that this place is in the middle of nowhere, I mean the middle of nowhere. When I landed there in Missoula, Montana, I texted him and said, I think I landed on Mars or might be on the wrong plane. But it's a beautiful place, and he actually has a family and a ranch out there. Hunter Olmwood has land out there with his family as well. They connected. He started his career at Boise State. The program collapsed.
Went to Central Arizona.
Floated, went to Central Arizona, JUCO, and now going to Grand Canyon.
Staying out west, 1-0 from Olmwood. Good pitch. On a fastball at 86, 1-1. But just cool moments. We were even talking with Colin Davis from Wofford, from Blessed Trinity High School for Brewster yesterday, and just kind of acknowledged how small of a world the baseball circle can be and is at times. That was a cool moment during that lightning delay. 1-1. Just missed outer half on the slider there from Olmwood. 2-1 count.
That's a pretty location. I know he didn't get the call that he was looking for, but